Hello everyone, and welcome back to more Eternal Darkness. We picked up this item last video, let's go ahead and take a look at it. Hey look, it gave us a page to the Tome of Eternal Darkness.
Your presence is welcomed, Majesty. As always, I am honored.
Our dealings are a pleasure to us both, then.
He lies.
As do we all.
What is this flaw you wish to discuss with us?
My concern is with the other ancients. Ulyaoth, Chattur'gha. Should they unite with Mantarok, they will doubtlessly possess enough power to vanquish even thee.
As darkness abhors light, and light abhors dark, the others will not, cannot join forces.
Mantarok will be bound, and the others will sink into insanity when I return.
As has been foretold.
I was unaware.
There is much you do not know.
And much you never will.
Be certain to retrieve Mantarok's essence. It is necessary to cement our place in your world.
Then what of Charlemagne the Frank? What do you intend for him?
The Frank is an instrument of light. He seeks to unite Europe under his banner.
With this in place, my guardians will be hard-pressed to perform the functions you require.
For your own schemes, Pius. Think of your future.
Then Charlemagne will be removed from the picture.
Make sure he is dead. Or insane.
Or perhaps one, then the other? Just make sure he is removed from power.
Of course. He is as good as dead.
That is a unique scene that I'll talk about a little bit more later. But for now, let's go ahead and access this page and start our next story.
From my research, it is apparent that the endeavors of mankind are mere puppetry at the hands of the ancients. Whenever a king vows reform, the ancients move quickly to stifle it. Under the auspices of Emperor Charlemagne the Frank, the new Holy Roman Empire was at the height of its power.
Hanc mit ad dominum et imperatorum nostrum, carolum magnum francum.
Deliver this to our Lord and Emperor Charlemagne the Frank. No one but him must see it. They are words for his eyes only. At once.
What sorcery is this? A spell? I am bewitched. If this was meant for Charlemagne, then what will become of him? I have to warn him of this treachery.
And it looks like this chapter will be taking place in some sort of a monastery. Or at the very least we have monk-sounding background music, which is kind of cool. For all the horror games I've played, I don't think I've played too many games where you go into areas like this. Let's see what's behind this door. Huh. Sounds like there's something going on behind that door. We'll have to take a look at that a bit later. For now, since we can't get into that door, let's take a look at this coffin. Yes, game, I want to open it.
Oh my god, what is
What
it?
happened? This devil's work. We should get out of here.
You have proven what we have feared the most. This poor man has been the victim of great evil. Look how his body has been defiled, as if something has burst out from inside him. Here, take this for your protection. And find the bishop. He must be informed of this horrible discovery.
Huzzah, we have a sword. And get used to that sound because we are going to be hearing that a lot. We will be picking up a lot of items in this area. A lot of these voice actors remind me of Michael Bell, who voices Raziel in the Legacy of Kain series. With my channel icon and channel name, you can tell I'm a fan of that series. The guy we're playing as is actually voiced by Cam Clark, who voiced Leonardo in the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon, which I think is really cool. That was always my favorite cartoon growing up, so I always think it's cool when I see any of those voice actors in other things. Well, this is ominous. I stood here for a second because I thought this was still part of the cutscene. And I'm just going to let you take this all in for a little bit. Enough dicking around, let's go ahead and pick up the Tome of Eternal Darkness. Huzzah! Yeah, nothing bad can come from picking up a screaming book in some sort of alternate dimension, demon realm, whatever the hell that was. Still, I like the sound of those screams. Pretty intense. Go ahead and use this jar we picked up and break it, and we get that, which we will learn a lot more about as we go. And we will also get the broken jar. There's a bunch of game tutorial prompts. I don't think they actually tell you what buttons to hit to do anything. I tried to edit this down as much as possible, but I wanted to leave everything up in case I need to refer back to it, which I might have to. So magic is a thing in this game. But in order to have different spells, you have to create them. If we haven't learned about that already, we will as we go throughout this chapter. Oh look, a secret passage. Who would have ever thought in a game like this? So I'm not sure how this whole process works. There are different runes you can pick up. I don't know if they're technically runes, but I'm going to call them that. We'll get one from this dude here. I have finally got confident enough with the finisher moves, at least. So I know what button to hit. It's the one that I think of as the equivalent to the square button on the PlayStation controller. I might have said that last video, I don't remember. Look, I'm trying to finish off somebody. Don't bother me while I'm doing that. I don't want to go insane after all. Finisher moves when you're going with the green god are very important because the green god affects your sanity. Which is why I picked it. I figured it would be a lot more interesting. Alright, well that gives us a bit of a clue. That torch will be helpful, and you can also use it as a weapon. Take a look at this! Nice! What I have not figured out at this point, and that's going to get me into trouble in a little bit, but first let's talk to this guy. And he will give us a sword. That's better than the one we were using before. So we didn't get much use out of that first sword. And now we need to pick up pieces to another jar. And the game keeps throwing me into the main menu. It's around here somewhere. There it is. But I can't actually see those pieces, so I just had to walk around and hit the pick up item button. And in true survival horror fashion, we can combine items. Good times. I mix up the buttons sometimes in this game. It happens. So I was talking about that unique scene we got where that guy was conspiring against, either with or against that green god that we chose to work with, or against. You get a different scene depending on which god you pick. I wanted to show those off, but in order to do that, you have to play through this game 3 times. And I'm just not willing to do that. So here is where I figure out that, hey, this torch does not allow you to perform a finisher. You have to switch back to a sword in order to do that. The thing I like about it is it does seem to one-shot a lot of these enemies. I'm walking around there like, why will he not finish them off? Well, now you know. And had I known, then I would have switched back to the sword. There is going to be a lot of that in some of these corridors, where I'm going to fight the enemies with this torch because it takes them down pretty quickly, and switch to the sword to finish them off. I'm going to cut my trips into the inventory when I do that. Be sure to burn that to open up the way. So if the video looks a little bit choppy, that's because I'm cutting out menu trips. I figured it would be a lot easier on the viewer if I did that. That way you're not seeing me going in and out of the menu all the time. There's another corridor where I'm going to switch between those 2 weapons quite a bit. So how did he get through that door? We are going to have to go through a bit of a process to open that door. First, we need to pick up a couple of different items. Pick it up. I'm going to call him Raziel. And you can see what happens there once we got all 3 pieces. We now have a spell. This spell will repair broken items, so we don't need other people to do that for us this time. Like with the sword that chick was carrying last video. And every time we pick up one of these spells, our girl Alex will acquire that spell as well. I'm assuming these carry over to each character you play as, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong on that. I think you do, though. My experience with this game prior to these first 3 videos is watching part of Ty's Let's Play. I never finished it for whatever reason. So now I'm just trying to figure out how the hell to use magic in this game. There is a quick option for magic. I assigned it to the left D-pad button. So then all I have to do is hit that button, and then it takes me into the inventory, and I pick the item that I'm wanting to repair. And we have 2 urns that need to be repaired. The blue one you had to break in order to get that item that was in it. We will see more use of that spell in a little while. This corridor here, I believe, is the one I was talking about before. No, maybe not. Okay, it's a different one. Right, I know what comes in that corridor later. That is going to be annoying. At some point. Okay. So what we need to do here is fill these jars with water. And one is already full. And I do like that the game tells you which ones are full. So it's kind of annoying you have to play this game 3 times on the same save file in order to get the best ending, but fortunately, with technology now, I will be able to just download the ending cutscene. So stand on that, and in order to weigh it down, we have these 3 jars we're going to put in place, and that will keep this door open for us. I might wait until this video posts to get user feedback, so if you're watching this, give me an idea of what you want to see in terms of the alternate cutscenes. All of that would probably be shown in the final video, as I will be continuing to make videos for this before the finale.
So, you have come to return my book. Very well then. For your efforts, I promise a quick and merciful death.
Not at this moment, Sonny Jim. It's time for you to die. This fight is not going to go extraordinarily well for me, but good enough. And yes, I did realize some of the time that I was aiming in the wrong direction when slashing my sword. I can't usually see which direction he's looking in at the time. I'm used to games like Onimusha where your character will typically target an enemy. I'm not saying that's the game's fault, I'm just saying that's what I was dealing with. And this one has a key that we need to pick up. And I want to perform finishers. Got the key. I want to perform finishers as much as I can. And I'm trying to perform a finisher and getting attacked by another enemy. Damn you! For that, you will die as well. To be fair, you were going to die anyways, but still. Now you get a finisher. Ass. But any other unique cutscenes you get, I can download and put those into the final video if anybody wants to see them. I'm sure that final video will be quite long anyways. I know of at least 2 sections where we're going to get unique cutscenes for all 3 gods. Right. Our boy's not looking so good at the moment. And these enemies are not helping things any. Sir, you are not performing safe social distancing. Don't you know in these troubled times that's what you're supposed to do? You dick. You're like those damn anti-vaxxers. Oh god. More of them. I don't want to get too political or anything. I definitely have my conspiracy theories, but I don't get being anti-vax. That just makes no sense to me. Normally I say to each his own, do whatever you want. As long as it doesn't affect me, I don't really care what people do. Right, these things. You have to use the sneak button in order to get by, because if they see you, then you get teleported to some weird-ass colored minigame dimension? I'm not really sure what the hell it is. The game probably explains that right there a whole lot better than I did. There's more in here. I do like that sound of wind chimes. Something about it is beautiful and creepy at the same time. Where the fuck am I now? Game? Things have gone all wibbly. Huh. This is weird. This does not look like where I was trying to go. Oh, great. We haven't even gone through the door. Just another example of this game's insanity effects. Come on. Take your medicine. I know you're experiencing a sudden burning sensation, but trust me, it's perfectly normal. Come on, there's one more. There you go. I believe we are almost done. With this story anyways. To repeat myself, I know I talked about this in video 1. I do think it's kind of cool going through these different areas as different characters. But it is hard to form a connection with these people. We don't really get to know any of them. I'm pretty sure that's why I didn't finish Ty's LP of the game. I'm gonna have to go back and watch that now that I'm playing the game. I do tend to have more of a connection with an LP if I've played the game before. Although I have enjoyed Jimmy's Quantum Break LP. That can't be good. Of course we get blocked off. But that's right, kids. We get to fight this thing. What you want to do is use aggression. Run up to it and start attacking it as quickly as you can. Try to hit its head if you can. I'm not so good at that, but do your best. And he goes down like a little punk. Okay, a big punk, but a punk nonetheless. And finish him off for some sanity. Not that it matters too much. There's not much left of this chapter. I think we have 2 enemies to fight, and that's it.
My dear Alex, I will always be at your side. There are times when insanity takes hold, and nothing seems right. During those times, I will help you. Fear not, for I will keep the darkness away.
This can't be happening!
That's kind of my favorite insanity effect we've had so far. I like that. It makes absolutely no sense, at least at this point in time. I don't know if we'll get that cutscene again later, if that was a precognition moment, or if there's a spirit watching over her, or what's going on. Or if this guy's going to end up watching over her. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out. or it's just a random insanity moment. Either way, I think it's good. I probably shouldn't be bothering with the finisher moves at this point, but they are fun to do. So now that we have the key, we can go ahead and see what's behind door number 1. Or 5, whatever.
You are a fool for trying to save him, Anthony. His fate was decided many centuries ago, as is the fate of this world. Despite your faith, there is little to save you from the power of Xel'Naga.
Well, looks like he met an untimely demise. I'm sensing there's a pattern. I thought just for the hell of it I would equip the sword. Maybe it would help Alex feel a little bit more confident. Who is it? I'm busy! And maybe avoid any sanity effects for a while, although that's not actually going to happen. You know, if your character has a weapon, you would think that they would be a little bit more confident and be a bit less likely to go insane because they do have something to defend themselves. So we now have a key. I'm busy! God! Some people. Okay, wrong item. Ah, these cheap piece of crap import keys. Next time, buy American. Yes, game. I'm well aware of how to use the spell. Fortunately, we picked up that spell, and like I said before, we would be using it again. So the key must have been on the verge of breaking. I actually had that happen to me one time. It was very disconcerting. The apartment I was living in at the time, back in college, I had just got home with a friend of mine and tried turning the key and it broke in the door and I'm standing there like, this is weird. So there's something in here. Let's go ahead and pick that up. Otherwise, nothing else interesting in that bathroom. And I decided at this point, since we're here anyways, I would start showing off some of these paintings. I'm generally one to try to go through a game, for the most part. That's weird. The voice sounded a little bit like that same dude that we just saw in the previous chapter. That dude in the cloak. Who I assume killed Anthony. God, I'm busy! Whoever it is, I don't want any! Shit! That's not creepy at all. I typically like to go through a game as straightforward as possible. But since we're here, I might as well show these off. Just in case somebody's interested in them. I know some people like to go through and show every little thing they can, and I do think that's cool. It's just work I don't want to do. So as you can see, that's our second pack of revolver bullets, so I guess Alex will be getting a revolver at some point. which is cool, but we have one last thing to do for this video. Get the next page for the Tome of Eternal Darkness. And that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time with more Eternal Darkness.